In today's video, how to become the best version of yourself. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from Physique.com, and I'm going to do my video a little bit differently today. I'm standing here in the podcast booth for Redefine Healthy Radio, so hey, plug for me and Lauren's podcast. I'll link it below. If you want to hear me and Lauren get a little bit raunchy, tell some terrible stories, and maybe give a little bit of fitness advice. But today's video is going to be based on a question that I got right here on my Instagram direct message. I'll put it on the screen here. And the one thing I want to discuss with this topic is kind of my journey. So if you've heard it before, now's probably a good time to tune out, because I'm going to share a lot of my anecdote and how I became the best version of myself based on this gentleman's question, which goes a little bit like this. Hope that you're doing well. Thank you, I am. I am 45. I'm 44. And I've been training a while without too much advance. I would like to get the best version of me at least once in my life. Maybe even compete. Can you please let me know if you train online and how much would be your program? Thank you in advance. Well, I always find this question funny when people ask me if I train online. I've been doing that for 9 years. So yeah, anybody that's interested in knowing more, you can just go to prophysique.com. But the question that is more curious to me is maybe competing. And that's exactly what I did. Now, I don't think that competing is for everybody. I don't think that it's necessary, but I do think that it is a great outlet and it teaches us some valuable lessons. So here's what I would suggest for my friend here who's interested in competing. If you've been going to the gym for a while and it's starting to lose its luster, you know, the process of going to the gym, working out, tracking your diet, it does become a little bit redundant. And for me, the idea of competing was an extension of myself wanting to be a better version of myself. Now, I didn't actually know what that meant when I said it or when I set out to do it. I didn't realize all the changes I was going to go through once the process of starting a bodybuilding competition was going to happen. But I'll try to explain it a little bit. First things first, when you decide you're going to compete in a bodybuilding competition, at least for me, the first thing I did was I went to a competition to see what it looked like in person. And I committed to doing that same show a year later. So once you make that commitment and you tell your friends, you tell your family, you tell anyone that's important to you, you tell yourself, you start to hold yourself accountable on a different level. You see, before that, I was a gym rat. I loved going to the gym. I loved, curling with the bros and hitting a few PRs and trying to bench 3 plates and doing all those fun things. But the gym was more of my personal kind of outlet. It was my time, me time for myself. I didn't want anybody to encroach on that. But when I decided that I was going to compete, it quickly became something different. It became my reason to stop making excuses for all the bullshit I told myself about why I had to miss a workout, why I had to skip cardio, why I wasn't going to eat the right kind of foods that I should. When you set a goal to get on stage, you shift your focus. And what I realized was I was doing this in a lot of aspects of my life. I would tell myself the reason I didn't have more muscle was because, somebody just had better genetics than me. They were luckier than me. No, they were working harder than me. Same thing at work. The reason I didn't get a promotion or I didn't get a raise was because, the boss doesn't like me or somebody else is a kiss ass. No, they were working harder than me. Well, the reason why I didn't have my degree and my master's degree or these things was because, I wasn't, I didn't grow up rich. And so, I didn't have the money to go to college. No, people can go to college without being rich. It's on you. And so I simply started changing the way I looked at everything I did. Stop making excuses. You control everything about your life, okay? If you've got your health and if you're in a normal living situation, I'm sorry, but everything that happens in your life is your responsibility. And once I started thinking like that, it's really funny what starts happening. Doors start opening, people treat you differently. And so the bodybuilding for me was a way for me to kind of commit. And yes, the first thing I did was hire a coach, because I was really kind of lost after years of reading magazines and books, because although I was obsessed with the idea of kind of progressing my physique and understanding how nutrition impacted that, I think I was still just as lost after 15 years of being in the gym as I was at the beginning, because there's so much misinformation. So I found one person who was putting out some information that I thought, wow, that's actually makes a lot of sense to me. And I trusted that person. And that's what I've become. I've become a coach for that same reason, because there's so much bad information out there. Now, if you're watching this video, you probably already know that about me. But for this gentleman who asked if I coach online, sometimes I get that question and I have to laugh. Like, how did you find me? Everything about me is talking about the fact that I'm a coach. It's what I do now. I have Pro Physique, a business now where we have more than 14 employees, 10 coaches. We're doing everything in our power to raise the game up of the coaches. So that is absolutely what I love to do. And it's because of that experience that I had that I thought, wow, I can put something better out into the world. And we found that, me and my wife found that I enjoyed that process so much. I actually quit my career and started Pro Physique about 10 years ago. So yes, I think it's a great way to enrich your life. Now, if you're looking to just get started, my friend, I'm trying to do more and more of this, but it's hard to put out free materials. But I have some free materials for you. If you go to my website, go to prophysique.com/programs, or just click on programs. I have 2 free ebooks, and we're working on a few more. But the 2 we have right now are Training Guide for Beginners, which is basically going to be a program that's very similar setup to the first program I ever did when I hired a coach. It's a macronutrient-based nutrition plan. It's a workout guide for the gym. It's how to choose a gym, what mindset you should have. It's kind of all the things for a true beginner to figure out how to take that first step. I also have a guide on flexible dieting and macro tracking, which breaks down like what are carbs, what are fats, what are protein, what is fiber, how much of each should you have, how do you set up your diet, how do you track your diet, what technology should you use. These tools are going to give you a huge head start. And what I often find is people ask me for the littlest pieces of advice. It's all out there. All the information is out there. But you can't learn about dieting by reading about it. You can't learn about working out by reading about it, because really you need to explore it yourself. You need to start tracking your diet. You need to start changing your diet. You need to get in the gym and do some weights. That's really where we make the most self-discovery about this process. And that's what was great about bodybuilding for me, was it taught me to get off my ass, stop saying yes to the wrong situations, start saying yes to the right situations. And it's moved my life forward in 1,000 ways, which, maybe someday I'll talk more about that when I feel like I've accomplished a little bit more. I don't want to be somebody that starts talking about how to build a business when I'm still figuring this shit out as we go. So that's going to be it, my friends. Some free advice for you, some free training programs. If you're looking for a coach, you can go to prophysique.com and set up an interview with one of our coaches, maybe myself. But the point is that you're in a great place, and I would be doing exactly the same thing. At 45 years old, it's a great time to start competing. You're at probably a period in your life where you have some stability. I'm more impressed by people that are 18, 19, 20 that are competing than I am myself, because at those ages, I don't think I would have had the discipline. I was still trying to figure out who I was and impress my friends and, party and have all that fun. I'm so impressed by young people that are able to make that choice. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. I know it's Valentine's Day. I hope you have an awesome one planned. I'm actually going to have a Valentine's Day lunch with my wife right now. So happy Valentine's Day to you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.